In this video we're going to have another look at some of the tools in the sculpting workflow. So I'm just going to click on my cube, tab into edit mode, right click, subdivide and add 10 subdivisions. And then I'm going to click into the sculpting workflow. So I'm going to turn on dynamic topology. And I'm going to change it to constant detail, and I'm going to change that to 40. So now we've got a fairly detailed way of sculpting. It's not mega detailed, but it's detailed-ish. If you go on to wireframe mode, you can see the sort of thing that's happening. So to get to wireframe mode or rendered mode or solid mode, I'm holding Z to get this little menu, and then I'm just moving my mouse to that number, and there we are. So you can see what's happening to the geometry in real time. It's creating additional geometry. So back to solid mode. So with the tools, we're just using the basic draw tool over here. And it has lots of settings such as radius. So obviously if we turn the radius up, it's bigger, smaller. We have the add and subtract mode. So subtract mode allows you to carve into the object. And these settings are also up at the top. And if you have a graphics tablet, even better, because they work with pressure sensitivity. So there's lots of different things you can do here, the stroke settings and all that sort of thing. Lots and lots of stuff you can do. You can also turn symmetry on. So we've got symmetry in the, let's do, yeah. So we've got symmetry on here, which is useful for making faces. Let's just turn it to additive. So we could do this. You could you know, go mad and do whatever you want, but the mirror mode is useful. So they're the main things you'd want to look at. Fall off also can be useful. So at the moment, if we turn the brush size up, you can see it creates sort of a curved shape, which is determined by this profile. If you wanted it sharper, you could see how that creates a slightly different shape, especially if you drag it like that. So the profile of that shape is different, so you can change that and you can make your own as well. I tend to leave it on sort of smooth. So really useful. I'm making a mess of this cube, but there are other tools as well. So let's look at the clay tool. So the clay tool allows you to build up, that's quite a lot of clay, allows you to build up clay quickly in an area. So if you wanted to build up a mass, this would be like the equivalent of adding clay to your object, and you can quickly do that. This one is the clay strips. Again, very similar, adding lots of clay volume, so you could quickly block something out with this and then do other things to it in a minute. So we're going to probably use, I'm trying to use the common ones for now. The Crease Tool is what it says. It allows you to put a crease. So there, look, if I want to crease that and make that edge more defined, I can. So here would be a good candidate to just try and make that much sharper edges. So creasing, very, very useful. They're the main ones you'll use. You can have a go with the others. The other two that are very, very useful is smooth. You'll use this one all the time. So it literally smooths out the surface and makes it more even. So where we've got all this, we could just smooth it out, like here. We could just smooth those jagged lines away and get some nice topology and blending going on. So very, very useful. You'll see that we've gone through the geometry there, so be careful with that. So smoothing, really, really useful. Don't go too mad with it. It can start to look blurry if you're not being careful. So flatten, again, very useful. Literally does what it says. It flattens areas out, creates flat zones, flattens bits out. So we've got the scrape tool. That's useful. It's useful for creating edges, like on bricks and stuff like this, just to knock the edge off a little bit and create a bit more of a bevel. Very useful for that. That's what I mainly use that one for. Let's have a look. We've got the grab tool. So the grab tool allows you to grab an area and literally pull it. And obviously the size of the brush is going to have a massive effect on how this one works. So can be very useful for modeling characters, for like pulling the ears about and the nose and so on. Similar, we've got the Deform, allows you to nudge different bits of the geometry slowly about. So again, for just shaping your geometry is really useful. Snake hook is a bit strange. It allows you to do weird things like that, which is pretty cool. Thumb allows you just to nudge it a little bit, so you're pushing it with your thumb. They're the main ones you're going to use for now. There are more advanced features like masking and stuff like that, but I would just have a go with some of these basic tools for now. So try and master just the basic brushes. The smooth tool is really, really useful. Have a go at working with those, see what you can make. So that's an introduction to the basic sculpting workflow.